Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Pocket Change. Thanks for coming back and checking it out. Today, we're going to talk about what we sold this week, anything we learned, any pickups we did, all the important stuff in our life as resellers. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and I'm joined by my co host, Joel. Joel, how are you doing?
I'm good. How is everybody out there in Pocket Pal land?
They didn't answer. They never do. We try to hear it. There is a backstage, so if anybody wants to come watch this being made, we can send you an invite, and you can watch us do this. I don't know why
Only,
anybody would do that.
only to his house.
No, there's a backstage, virtual backstage.
Oh, is there
Yeah,
really?
you can watch us do it live. I don't. At
I,
some
I
point, we need to
thought
do it live, but
I thought you were inviting everybody to your home.
no, no one can come here. Hey, send me a note.
Actually, Ben said you can come. He'd be glad for you to come. He would personally teach you how to list items. All
On
you
my account.
do.
Yeah, I'm in. So stop by. I'll show you. I'll let you take the pictures. I'll let you go ahead and upload them. I'll let you go ahead and post them because I'm a good guy. I want to be helpful to you. Not that it'll help me.
We definitely want to be helpful to you.
We do it part time. If you're doing it full time, good luck to you. I want to get there at some point.
If you're
I
doing
think
it full time, we want you to come on our show because we want
yeah,
questions for you. We want questions for you. In fact, as we go to some of these events over the next little while, it'd be great if some of them who are doing full time, we could actually invite them on the show. What do you think, Vince?
yeah, we're gonna try. We got the 127 coming up. It's hosted by the two old guys, Reselling podcast. So that'll be cool. Meet them in person, and instead of just listening to them on the internet.
As I was told by a former boss one time at a Friday meeting, you just need to come back Monday morning with a renewed vigor. I'd never heard that before in my life, but I say it now all the
I
time. Like,
mean, you
I got to
gotta
come
have.
back. Got to come back Monday with a renewed vigor. Who's
All
been?
right, what'd you learn this week?
I don't know. The thing I learned this week is nothing really new to eBay, but as I was relisting, and I don't know why this is, but I don't know if you've noticed it, but the ad rate has started skyrocketing again, which is interesting. Usually, when we see the ad rate skyrocket, is when we see that there's a whole lot of listing and a whole lot of less sales. And you and I were actually just talking about that and trying to see
Yeah,
if we can find anything out there in Google land about it. And nobody's really talking about it. But you and I were talking about, and we'll get into our sales section here in just a minute, but our sales are down a little bit. So I don't know. It may go back and boost ours, but problem is when you got rock bottom prices. When I say rock bottom prices, you're trying to price things accordingly and still make money. It gets difficult to throw that ad rate up there, especially if you got a lot of stuff like you and I do that's under that $10, under that 0 to $15 mark. You
yeah.
start going up there and adding. Let's say you've paid $1 to $2 for it. Okay, sounds
Hmm.
great if it's a $15 item, but you got your regular fees, you got your shipping costs, and then you throw on there your boosted ad rate, and if it's over 10%, you're eating up your profits like crazy because you need to
Yeah,
make on a $2 item. And this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. So this is something I've learned over the time. Whatever you pay for the item, you need to make minimum double that, preferably three times. Three. I was holding up for three. Or as Ben's likes to do it, if he's got a dollar item, he at least wants to make 10 times his money. And part of the reason we want to do that is because the gross on it, when you start looking at the gross, it eats it away at the fees
yeah.
and it just becomes a thing. So I don't know. Learning this week, I've been looking at what is going on. Shipping policy has changed. I know Ben says it's not, but his hasn't changed because he didn't have an existing shipping policy. So I have learned that it has been updated. If you didn't have an existing shipping policy in place, they are basically forcing us to do one or face this bull junk, I call it, where everything just gets thrown in together. So I've got to finish up crafting
So
my shipping policy.
I didn't see it because I have a shipping policy. You don't have a shipping
Right,
policy, right? You said it
right.
back. Yeah, so I have a shipping policy in place just because that made more sense than not. So
So there's two things. One, the ad rate is going up, or the boosting ad rate, where you're paying to get your item put out there more and shared more with people who are logging in. I forget what exactly it's called. And then the whole shipping thing has changed. It has been updated. And so right now, I'm limited to only USPS Advantage because that's the only shipping policy that they crafted for me because that's what I was using anyway. I don't necessarily mind it so much because right now, 99.9% of my items are shipping USPS Ground Advantage. And I think that's just because it's the cheapest thing out there. But that's what everybody gravitates to is US Postal Service Ground Advantage because it's cheap. I've got one right now, the Pocket Watch, that. But just talking about it, it literally should have been there 3 days ago. Instead, because it's Ground Advantage, it's taking a week and 2 days. Part of that might be Memorial Day too. I don't know.
it could be Memorial Day, yes. Yeah, so that's slow sales this weekend. I usually have good sales on the weekend. This
Before we get
weekend I
into
haven't had hardly
sales,
any.
let's talk about what you learned. Did you learn anything this week?
What I learned this week, I learned don't take wooden nickels. That's a good one.
For Canadian ones.
Yes, I learned don't sign up for a 7:30 pickup on Sunday morning if you're going to sleep till 10. Yeah, so I had to get that reset. Yeah, and I don't need to be buying stuff, so I don't know why I bought stuff off an auction anyways. But I learned, I was reading an article this week about phony Monet, and the AI detected on eBay 40 fake artworks. So that was a pretty cool article that people are selling artwork as being real Monet, other artists, and saying that they're them. But the AI technology now can look at it and say that's not a Renoir, that's not a Monet, right on the website. So that's cool. They
Shouldn't
found
that be a no-brainer though? And how many
yeah.
Monets are actually out there that you can say are barn finds? Come on now.
The one thing that I saw, Macari, how they ran out. Anybody can return anything for the first 3 days for any reason at all. They have reversed that. They've gone back to their original. If you have something, you need to send it to them. Then they'll decide whether or not you can return it. The returns were on them when they changed from no selling fees for the sellers and started charging more to the buyers. They also, at the same time, allowed this. You could return anything within 3 days, regardless of what was wrong with it or why you didn't want it. They have now reverted to their original return policy, which I've bought stuff on there before and there was something wrong with it and they wouldn't let me return it. So I'm thinking they must have got a massive amount of returns. There was nothing really talking about why they changed it, but Macari has changed back to their original return policy as of the 23rd or 25th. I also learned how to make, I've been doing selling some oddly shaped stuff. So I've been learning different ways to reconstruct boxes. I found this one real trip. So you can take any box that's square or somewhat square, and then take one side and cut it down halfway on the flaps, and put your hand in there and push it, and then it becomes a long box, and it's really sturdy. It's really simple too. I'm gonna do a video on that.
Yeah, that's a good trick. We want to do a show on, or we might want to do a show on training, which sites you should be set up on and how you set those up. But we'll wait, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching our pick or pass, you need to watch that. If you are, you will have heard our last one or hearing our next one coming out where we talk about we're trying to increase our technology for you guys. So some of these things we may, such as how to set these up and some other sites you may want to be selling on as well. We want to wait till we can do that with our share screen function and all that. So stay tuned for those coming up in our next few episodes, things like that, as we embrace technology for you guys. A lot of y'all, we were just a podcast, and now we're doing this vlog, video log podcast for you guys so you can see how pretty we are and sexy. So those are something we want to get into because I still have yet to set up any other thing but eBay. I looked at it and I was like, this looks too complicated. And you're saying, no, it's really easy. So we may want to do one, and even I'll learn some stuff there on how to set some of that stuff up. But it's interesting that Macari's going back to their old return policy. I wish eBay would do something similar with some of the ways they used to do things. I did notice that eBay, it seems to have gone back to if you get an offer now and you accept, they do go ahead and charge again. So they flip back to that, but they flip on that every 3 to 6 months.
I think it's really specific to the people. I think if you start an account, a newer account, you're set up that way. If you have an older account, I don't think they've changed everybody over. Because I had one this week that I accepted and it took them 3 days to pay. That doesn't even make any sense to me.
I should get paid right then.
Yeah, I had another one that I accepted last week that I finally just canceled for some White Sox pins. And at the end, they asked my opinion. And I told them, I said, it doesn't make any sense that this wasn't paid for when the person offered me $5 less than what I was asking. And now it's 11 days later because I got busy and I didn't really notice it took that long. I went ahead and reversed it and put it back out there again. I don't know. Right now, my sales are pathetic on eBay. And I posted 22 new things this week.
So 22 new or resale?
New, and I do 10 a day every day that are sell similar. And then I ended up adding 22 things this week.
Yeah, but you and I both know the algorithms. If you're listing at least 5 every day, you get that boost. I mean, you and I were talking about the sales have been abysmal, and yet the algorithms that we've learned have been if you're listing, which guys, we've told you all to do that. And here we are, we're doing it, and our sales are abysmal. Now, is it what we got? Maybe for me, but it can't be for Ben's because Ben's is well over 1,000 items.
Yeah, and it could be what I have. But I think maybe this weekend it's the holiday weekend. People may have went and done things and they're not spending money on this. I don't know.
You look at things across the board, and being in the financial insurance and financial services realm, I'm constantly reading stuff like that. A lot of your stores, there's more stores going belly up. There's more, and I'm trying to be depressing, but there's now 50 major food chains from east to west coast have now decided to, I think the least one closed like 400 stores. Red Lobster just completely went. They're still out there, but they're shutting down like 470 stores. If you want to go on vacation, ladies and gentlemen, now this is the time to go. Here's why, and you can put it to the test. But because people went from having to book 2 years out just a few years ago, you were booking 2 years out. Now they're lowering prices on hotels and rental homes and short-term rental and all that because they don't have enough bookings for the summer. Places that used to book for a week are now booking for 2 or 3 nights at reduced rates. I think there's some of that going on, and it's partially because we're in election year, partially because the feds have been hush about this, but you can go find it if you research it. So I'm not saying anything that's crazy, but they have not said, they said that they were looking into raising or not raising rates. And all the media said, oh, the feds aren't going to raise rates at this time. No, that's not what they said. And out there, you got this underlying current that to supposedly stem this inflation tide. And I ain't going to bore you with all those details. I may do a financial podcast at some time so I can tell you guys about it. But basically, the Fed's got it wrong. I'll just put it to you that way. There's a different reasons for inflation, and the one they chose is not the correct one. But all that has its toll. And so, I don't want us to get down on it and go, oh, I'm not going to list anything. No, keep listing, ladies and gentlemen, especially use this time, because here's the kicker. I'm already noticing. I was just on shopgoodwill.com earlier this afternoon, and I saw even its prices are starting to come down a little bit on some things that I noticed. So this is a time really becoming a good time to possibly look into sourcing. Facebook. I know some of you younger ones are like, what is Facebook? That's for old people. Yes, exactly. Who do you think's having the yard sales? You're not going to see a yard sale in an apartment. It's not going to happen. And where do you think you're going to find your best items to sell? You're going to find it at somebody my age or older at their houses for yard sale. They're trying to earn some quick cash. They're not doing reselling. You can get a great bundle. They're getting rid of a bunch of stuff. One man's junk's another man's treasure. Now's the sourcing time, really. It's like it's saying the markets buy low and sell high is the common phrase you hear all the time. Now's the time to start sourcing because things are coming down. Things are cheaper, not because we've raised rates, but because people need money. We are cash poor right now in our society. I don't have the inventory to reach my goal. I've
You know
realized
what? So we're supposed to start reset for the next video and talk about our goals and how we're going to reach them. We're going to do a whole year in 6 months. And lo and behold, the episode before that, this guy's saying he can't reach his goal because it's not his fault. Come on, get out of here. Figure it out. And the thing is, you were talking so much I couldn't get in there because you would that man can talk. Sometimes I'll talk to him on the phone for an hour and I'll speak 3 times. And it'll be like,
that is not true.
huh, sounds good. Yeah. But the thing I want to speak about, you said Red Lobster's closing. Do you know why they're closing?
No, I don't know. I figured it's
Because
economy.
of the all-you-can-eat shrimp. Look it up. We're such a fat society that we ate so much shrimp at Red Lobster. We went there and supported them so well that we put them out of business. That's their excuse. It isn't mismanagement. It isn't because the Cheddar Bay biscuits are too expensive. No, it's the shrimp, all-you-can-eat shrimp that they ran to get people to come out to eat. And we ate so much shrimp that we ruined the business. They lost revenue because we, as a society here in America, can eat some gosh darn shrimp. We ain't messing around. We're like Bubba Gump. Shrimp, shake a feet, shrimp. Yeah, I like that guy on Bubba Gump, man. We love some shrimp.
I was thinking of Uncle Buck, the movie Uncle. I'm dating myself. The movie Uncle Buck, where they go to the Chinese restaurant. He's like, "How much you eat? You need to get out of here. You need to leave."
Yeah, you can't make that voice anymore. But
I'm sorry.
Just saying, The best part of Uncle Buck was when he was telling the boyfriend
that the 7-Eleven is out too.
Yeah, no. Jesus, I'll be.
You can't do that one either.
You can do a Southern hick. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey y'all, what are you doing?
You make fun of us guys from the South.
Yeah, exactly. We can make fun of the Southerners.
You know why? Because we can still take a joke.
Or people from California. Totally. Wow. I was hitting these heavy waves. Yeah, something like that. But we eat so much shrimp that it's our fault that we went there and did what they sold it for. That is crazy that we ate so much shrimp. We're just getting heavier. We can eat. I can eat some shrimp now. But I can eat less shrimp now than I did when I was in my 20s and they had all you can eat shrimp then. They're just not pricing accordingly, I think.
It's mismanagement.
Heck, it's not because we ate too much shrimp. Come on.
They just don't want to blame themselves.
Exactly, yeah. We did everything we could. It's just these fat people come out here and eat all this shrimp.
Well, speaking of that, so let's game plan there for just a minute, because if we're going to say it's not if we're going to say do the same thing, well, it's not our fault that our sales are low. What could we be doing? Is there something else we could be doing to get our sales up? Could we be listing more? Well, you're listing. But
we didn't come up with the shrimp conspiracy. The reason I'm not selling on eBay is because fat people can't buy my skinny jeans. No, it's not the same thing. My sales are down. I could list more. I listed 22 all week. My goal is to list 20 a day. It's pretty damn pathetic.
But at 5, we figured up, you and I played with it enough to get it to where we know the magic number is 5, or has been. May not be now, but it was 5.
At least 5, yeah. But the thing is, it just seems like something's wrong. Maybe they did an update.
How's your
Maybe
sales
they're not
on
getting it out there. I sold 1 thing on Macari this week. I sold 2 things on Bonanza. That's crazy. That's usually 1 every 3 months, but I sold 2 hats on Bonanza. Nothing on Poshmark because I haven't refreshed my closet. Gave up on that. I got tired of having to go in there and redo it. And I sold 1 thing on Grail. So I'm still selling.
So you're honestly, the other platforms are actually doing better than they have been in the past.
Yes, they have. They are
doing as good. Maybe Macari's taking a cut on them. You thought about that with the whole no fee?
I need to get more stuff on Macari.
Might be. It might be because eBay might be winding down their kingdom a little bit.
All right. What was your best sale this week?
My only sale was a loser. We talk about it a little bit on the pick or pass. I sold the watch that I talked about in episode 44, 43 or 42. One of those.
Yeah.
I did sell that watch. It was a loser because I paid $32 for it. Ended up selling it for $17. I cleared $17.47, so a little over 50%. But that's still a loser, ladies and gentlemen. That's just the way it works. But here's the thing, I got rid of it. It's out of my inventory. It's on its way to California, hopefully to a great home or a reseller of his own right. I don't really care. Anyway, my loss is his gain because I paid way too much for it. There you go. Do your research. Make sure that you're doing your research. But that's my only sale. What was your best sale this week? The only sale was the pocket watch that needed to go.
There you go. You sold something. You got something out of it. You didn't get what you wanted. You got a little bit of cash back. You can infuse it into the company and do something else with it.
And I did say I needed to get $15 a watch.
Yeah.
On that lot, and so I'm 1747. Hey, first one gone.
There you go. My best sale of the week is I sold I talked about this on another podcast or one of the flip and flops. I'm doing the
picker pass.
Yeah, flip and flop. Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. I don't even know the name of my own show. Picker pass. I've been listing and selling indigenous art. I sold a statue. Ended up making a profit of about $25 of what I paid for it, and then shipping and all. So $25 profit in my pocket all week. Total low sales, but on all the different platforms, I still got around $200 worth of profit this week. Not enough, not what I need to be. I need to keep going. I need to actually list more stuff and get more out there and try a little harder. The company I'm working for is shutting down. So I have a big decision here to make by January 1st. I could possibly go to another position with this company in another building, or start looking for another job, or figure out that I can make $100,000 a year selling on eBay. I'm at a crossroads, getting a little older. You start hitting 50, you start thinking, I don't want to be in this rat race the rest of my life. Is there a way out of it? So I've been doing part-time now for going on 3 years. Might look to go full-time, but still, I don't know.
We want all your listeners to understand.
All 6 of them.
We have more than 6.
I know. I'm just kidding.
In fact, one of your videos, or one of the videos that you do, the auxiliary videos is on your channel. What's it up to now? Is the last time you told me it hit 10,000 views?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't. I've been so busy this weekend. I really haven't looked, but I'll look real quick. It's crazy. One of my shorts.
He's at a crossroads. I was at a crossroads. In fact, I started this business because at that time, I didn't have anything bringing any money in. So I just, on a whim, got excited about this. I started, really liked it, and still doing it. He's somewhere where he's got to figure out what he's going to do. He's got some time, so it's not crunch time yet. But
yeah, so that video I put out, it was Thrifty Treasures, where I take people that found thrift store treasures and I make little shorts and talk about what they found. This one was about a $15 sofa bed. Thrifty Treasures, the $15 sofa bed is the name of it. It got 10,600 views, which is 10,200 more than my average. So that's pretty cool. From that one short, I was able to add 21 subscribers to my YouTube channel.
Hey, sweet. Maybe they'll start listening here. Maybe they're interested in reselling. And he's right. I'm not quite 50 yet, but I'm already starting to go, gosh. I had a lady the other day at my job saying, how long do you have to retire, dear? And I calculated, I was like, good Lord, I still got over 20 years. And at this rate, I'm not going to be able to retire then anyway. And you think about getting up every day, going somewhere, driving somewhere. I do. I've got a really good boss. He's really an awesome dude. But that didn't mean I want to hang out with him every day if I could help it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things. I would like to have this running. So, and some other things. I've got some other things coming in the works as well. I've got my own channel, totally different channel that we're working on getting up and running, because we're remodeling our house like crazy because it's an older home and it was a fixer-upper. And so putting that out there. I love doing eBay. I do. I have fallen in love with it. And I would like to do it more. I got to get my inventory built up.
I'm the opposite place, right? I got 2 storage units full of stuff. I really could stop and really buckle down and see if I can make this work. But then again, I have a lot of expenses and bills. I've had a really good job for a long time, and all that does is make you, if you're a good American, you reinvest it all back into America. I've got some savings. My bills, my monthly bills are way higher than I would like. I'd like to sell my house and buy a smaller house and pay it off, and then not have that bill. If I get rid of the house, but I'm not going to sell my house. I love my house, so yeah, who knows? My wife's not going to live in a shack. I'd like to buy a old, like, 5,000 square foot industrial building, take the back half, 2,000 square foot, build an apartment in it, and then have the rest for the warehouse. That's what I
Well,
want to do.
the problem with that is because if you find one in the city, it's usually not zoned for any residential. It's usually a bad neighborhood. You really don't want to sleep there.
Not worried about that. I got guns and I'm a badass. If they want to mess with me, they can. Yeah. Jackie Chan ain't got Jack on me.
But anyway, so getting back to our subject matter, because we talked about our sales and you talked about your sale. We talked about things we learned. Have we sourced anything this week? Have you done any sourcing? I have started looking. My total retail is only about $3,200. That's a long way from $30,000.
Just 10 times as much? Yeah, that's not much.
Yeah, 10 times as much. I wish I should peel this back so they can see the whole stack of stuff I got behind it. But my wife would be embarrassed for them to see that kind of stack there. Whereas Ben's wife is so gracious, she just lets him string stuff out everywhere.
Yeah, no, there's nothing in the house. If I leave my underwear on the floor, I get beat. People, you should call people and save me, please, because she's such a mean.
You can't put this out on the air. People are gonna be. You're gonna get. Hey, if Johnny Depp can stand up to a woman, you can too.
Yeah, it's true. Pretty sure I could beat Johnny Depp.
There you hear it, Johnny.
Bring it, boy.
Ben's Norris said he could.
We're about the same age, and I don't wear bangle bracelets. There you go.
I would laugh my butt off if he sent us a message.
Hey, you know what? I started watching 21 Jump Street because of him. He's been around a while.
Yeah, I did too. I watched 21 Jump Street because of him.
Yeah.
I said
he could drink. I'd like to drink with him.
I sat through some stupid movie, and it is a stupid movie where he's got scissors for fingers.
Edward Scissorhands. That's not a stupid movie. It's a good movie. He did one, The Ninth Gate or something like that. That's a really good sci-fi horror flick.
But anyway, so back to sourcing. Did you source
Johnny Depp,
anything?
I'm coming for you. No, I'm just kidding.
Johnny, we'll talk to you later. We'll call you on your cell phone. Nobody believes that. Did you source anything this week?
I got some stuff from Goodwill, which I shouldn't have. But I got some indigenous art that I bought really cheap.
Which we determined was a what? Never mind. We're not going to give it away.
Yeah, that'll come out before this because you said in there it was 44. Really, it's 45. So that gets to come out before this one.
He's been numbering everything we do, and he really needs to be putting like.
Now, I did screw you in the A and the B. Pick and Pass is a part of this thing. All right? So if you watch Pick and Pass, it's an episode. We're counting every time we sit down and do a video.
It's an auxiliary episode.
It's not auxiliary.
Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Pocket change is done, just like the
I don't
Beatles.
believe in auxiliaries. You know what? They made auxiliaries back in the day for like men's clubs. And
just like the Beatles and the Eagles.
No.
And all
You're being uninclusive, right?
Auxiliary. We have created differences.
You couldn't join that as a woman, so you had to be in the auxiliary if you were female. I'm going to be inclusive. Everything is the same thing. So you can be a full-fledged member. And in our case, it's a full-fledged episode. I don't care. There's no auxiliary.
It definitely was for how long we talked.
We were 1 hour and 24 minutes. That's what that ended up.
Yeah.
And it is now 30 minutes because there was a lot of fluff in that sucker.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes we get carried away.
There was like 20 minutes of us just ranting about things we shouldn't have been talking about. So we're like, oh, let's take that out. That doesn't have nothing to do with it. Price of tea in China. I don't know.
You can say tea in China.
Oh, yeah, you can. Oh. What are they going to do? Come on, Jackie Chan, bring it. I'm going to offend all famous people today.
He is all about challenging somebody to a fight now. What are you going to take on Mike Tyson after he gets done beating that little boy's butt again?
He is going to beat that boy's butt. That's so sad that Jake Paul, when he's done, he's going to look Rocky at him. This is going to beat the crap out of him. And everybody's like, oh, but he's old and he's young. No, he's Mike freaking Tyson, dude.
Yeah.
He's going to beat him to death.
Yeah, he is.
And if I'm wrong, and Jake Paul, I'm not challenging you. Sure. I am old and never was a professional boxer. You would beat my ass. I'm just saying. You know what? Good luck to you. You got more cojones than me. I would not get in the ring. Even for the millions of dollars he's going to get paid, I would not get in the ring with Mike Tyson.
Are you kidding me?
I wouldn't get in the ring.
I'm in the ring with Mikey. Come on, Mikey. Come on. For $1 million, I'll get in the ring with Mikey. I'll jump to him when I tell him he's getting a dress. And I'll tell you
I
what,
wouldn't get in the
the
ring with
win,
Muhammad Ali's daughter, right?
I wouldn't either. She's scared.
I'm just saying,
But I'd climb in the ring
she's
with,
not scarier than Mike Tyson.
she's a lot scarier than Mike Tyson. She's like a professional, like 4-time world champion kickboxer. She can only hit you with her hands. She hits you with her feet. And she's quick, too. But I would climb in the ring with Iron Mike. Come on, boy. Let's go. I would. Because I'm going to tell you right now, for $1 million.
No, you have to actually fight him. You can't just walk in there and go, I can do that.
That's what it would be. Oh.
I didn't say I was going to fight him. I just said I'd get in the ring.
That's right. I want my money.
Where's my money, bitch?
I think, what is that one actor? What was his name? He did that boxing movie way back when. Like, I wasn't old enough to remember, but it's like in his 60s. And he's like going all the way around the ring. He's doing this and he's running all around the ring. That would be me with Mike Tyson. I was like, you can't catch me. You can't catch me.
He'd just stop and you'd run right up to him. Ah! All right, you know what? Now we're getting into the cutting place again, right? We're wasting time.
All right, so
I also sourced from a sale, an auction that I was supposed to pick up this morning, and I overslept. So I don't know. They have another auction to pick up next Sunday, so I'm going to buy some stuff on there. They go next Sunday. Go, hey, I forgot. I sent them a note. They didn't get back to me. But it's a couple that does it out of their house. They do it every week. And one time I missed one of them because I only had like 2 things. And the next time I showed up, they had it. So I'm thinking it'll be there. I didn't buy much. I bought a box fan for the garage for $3. I bought some comic books and a couple of bookends that were really cool. It was like a pagoda, metal brass bookend that folded up and down. It comped out at like $100. I got it for $14.
So you sourced quite a few things. Sourced Goodwill, you sourced at an auction, and I bid on a couple things, but I've not really sourced anything, and I'm the one that needs to be sourced.
I just like spending money.
Well, new rule of thumb, when you talk about a change coming in June, as we go into our goals for the year and try to start to reach for them, I think Benz and I should limit ourselves to reinvestment around 50%. Because here's the thing, if you're doing this and you're not realizing you're not getting any of the profit out of it. Of course, I don't know, Ben, I think Ben's really enjoys spending what he makes on new items to sell.
I just need to sell them.
Yeah, you need to sell them, which is cool. The problem is he's reached such a point, he really does need to slow down sourcing, and he has substantially, because he needs to clear out some of the stuff and get it more manageable. Mm-hmm. You know, right now he's got stuff in there, what I ended up with, and I pick at Ben's about this, but he had me buy those dolls. And when I bought them, they were selling like hotcakes, and now they're not. So I held on to them. I missed my window, especially with stuff. It'll probably come back around. Everything sells eventually. That's our new quote. You need to put that pocket change. Everything sells eventually.
That'll be our first T-shirt.
Yeah, that's our catchphrase. Everything sells eventually. Bob Ross sells eventually.
He does.
If you've watched our podcast, Bob Ross Chia Pet. You know what it's called?
Chia Pet.
Chia.
Chia.
It even sold. And he'd had it for 2 years. I thought about buying it from him just as a mercy buy.
Quit buying my stuff, man. It's weird.
Hey, I only bought the motorcycle. That's all I bought for. There you go. Watch our pick or pass. You'll understand what I'm talking about. But I'm limited funds. So I'm sourcing on limited funds because I am doing my best not to spend extra money. I want to spend what I make. Reinvesting what I make rather than grabbing from outside sources. My outside sources, I go to work, that pays my bills. This needs to be self-sustaining, and it has been so far. I started out with things that were given to me, and what I have sourced has been from money that I made.
And that's what I'm doing, right? Same thing. The first 2 years, I reinvested everything, and I think I was wrong because somebody on the podcast said, hey, for the first 2 years, don't take any money out if you can afford to, which I could because I have a job and I don't need it for my bills. So I just kept buying and buying. Theoretically, is really good and worth way more than I paid for it. Now I just need to get it out of the storage unit, start listing.
I do like your garage setup you got now, which, ladies and gentlemen, you can go look at it and you see a little bit there in the pick or pass because he has set up his garage now a little bit so he can bring stuff, put it there, list it, pack it away. As it's sold, he can bring more stuff over from the storage unit, which is really good. But there again, you're talking about a guy who has run warehouses for what, 20 of the last 20 last
27,
yeah. So
27 years. Yeah.
I mean, he knows what he's doing there. Me, mine looks like a tornado hit it.
You know, and I'm just looking at, so I'm starting to fill up all my shelves, right? So as more I list, I probably will run out of shelf space, I don't know, in the next 2 months. But in between the shelves, I think I'm going to buy these roller shelves. So I'm going to take, and I have two sets. I have a shelf, then the shelf, and then the shelf. And I got a walkway in there. So I'm going to buy roller shelves that I can fill those walkways with. And then when I go to pick, I'll roll those 3 shelves out of each aisle into the open space, and then pick, and then roll them back. And then I'll double my space just by filling it with a roller shelf. If I'd have been smart, and I think if you were doing it yourself, if you're limited in space and you have a little bit of money to invest, if you buy the shelves on rollers. So if you're in warehousing, there's a robot that you can get that has it's got a shelf on top of it, and it just goes and puts itself away. And then when you sell something from it, they just come up and line themselves up by the pack stations. And then on the shelves, there's lights. So when it pulls up to the pack station, whatever shelf it has the item, it lights up. You scan the barcode, you take the product out. I'm not saying you should do that. But if you bought shelves on rollers and filled them up, you could just push them in together and take up a lot less square footage with a lot more stuff. So I'm going to do that same concept by filling the aisles with those shelves. To make a little bit of money, those shelves are a little expensive.
One of the things you can do cheaply on that, because it just hit me, go and look on your local market, look on Goodwill, but source what we call in the automotive industry roll carts. Because a roll cart or a rolling toolbox, especially if you get a narrow one, you can put a lot of stuff in it. It'll come with a selection of drawers. You can stack stuff on top of it. You can roll it around where you need to. And those are a lot cheaper. Or if you want to, you could build your own relatively cheaply with some 2x4s and some plywood and some caster wheels from Harbor Freight. I'm into building stuff of my own, as y'all know it, from my ugly duckling, which, by the way, is still not complete since I redid it. But it still takes absolutely gorgeous pictures. It really does. So
I got to send you a picture of my pack station that I made. And I took 2 shelves that I had put plastic totes, with the foldable plastic totes this way in front, and they're on top of that. And then I have a toolbox that's a step stool that I have that are all the same height. And then I put a shelf behind it. The problem was I had a kitchen table that I had bought at a yard sale for $1. And when you go to pack on it, it only comes up to my crotch area. You want it to be up a little higher so that way you're not bending down when you're packing. So I made this pack station out of 2 totes, 3 shelves, and a toolbox. And it's perfect. It's the perfect size. It works really well. But I can replace it with the real one for $150. So that's my goal, is to get $150 worth of profit, and I'll replace it with a good pack station, which will work out better. And then set the table out by the road. But right now I got $1 invested in my pack station.
I just convinced my wife to knock out a wall, so we're going to knock out the wall here. You guys can't see it. We're going to knock this wall out anyway. We had a little bit of flooding going on in the basement. It's messed up the wall, and of course I'm in my basement, so I'll admit that. But we're going to knock out this one wall here and expand it, and so that way I can have more room for organizing my office, my eBay office, and that kind of thing, which used to be my work from home office. Now it's my eBay office. Just so I can become more organized, because she's tired of stuff just sitting around. Because there again, I didn't run a warehouse. I've worked in warehouses. I know the way it should be. I am reinvesting everything without taking money. So everything I've bought, from my clothes shelving, where my clothes hang, and all that stuff, has been bought from profit. So, of course, Benz keeps after me about, we need to do another update on our supplies episode, because apparently I need to write down that thermal printer one.
Yeah, that thermal printer, I'm telling you, man, it'll change your world. It saves so much time. You're going to spend that ink when you start rolling, right? I keep sending you every time I get a coupon or somebody sends me a good deal. The other thing I got is I got the roof, and the whole roof of this house it's all insulated and everything, but I have to go up through steps in the garage. And I don't really care for walking up a ladder, right? But I could probably get a full 1,500 square foot warehouse going up there.
You just need to source you a candy shelf, what they call a candy shelf. That's what you need to source, or a library shelving. It's got the rolling ladder that you can
Yeah, there
kick
you go. No, but I
all
mean,
around.
I've been up at the top, and I can stand up there. It's probably about that far above my head, and it's probably a 1,500 square foot just space up there.
He's gonna finish that out, ladies and gentlemen, and he's going to start storing stuff up there, and he's going to venture into candle reselling, and he's going to put all them up there.
Yeah,
I can imagine in Florida, you have to be careful what you put up there.
True. I wouldn't put anything multiple up there.
Actually, that attic storage would be a great place for your indigenous art.
Yeah, because it doesn't sell.
It wouldn't melt.
Hey, quit giving me a hard time. But I like it.
It wouldn't. I'm just saying it wouldn't melt. I don't say anything else. It wouldn't melt.
And it's got a 6.5% sell-through rate, so it probably will sit there for a while. That's what you're saying. I hear you.
I wouldn't say anything because I want him to go watch it.
Yeah, go back. Why are you watching this one? Go watch the other one. Now.
I love it on the last one, though. I caught myself. He was showing something. He had something. He was doing show and tell, ladies and gentlemen. And I leaned way forward. Like I could
you got to be able to see it better.
Like I'd be able to see it any better.
Yeah, what's going on down there? Yeah. You know what? Thank God we're pretty because we ain't real smart. I'm just saying.
Speak for yourself. I ain't pretty.
But you ain't smart either, goddamn. You just proved that. Jesus. Yeah, I ain't pretty.
Oh, you're pretty.
We call him pretty. Hardest job I ever had. Someone told me, go in the corner and look pretty. Got fired.
Rodney Dangerfield. I don't get no respect.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss him.
Yeah, but always cut me down to just twice a week. There's the other guy. She cut completely off.
Jeez, that's a Rodney Dangerfield, isn't it?
That is.
Yeah.
I got into a cab and I told the guy, hey, take me where the action is. He took me to my house.
Yeah, I miss him. I miss him and George Carlin. Anyway, in case y'all didn't know it, Ben's is an amateur comedian.
I do puppet shows too.
Anyway, all right, so let's see. We talked about learn, sales, and sourcing. So we're trying not to, but I know you guys enjoy our banter too. We've been friends a long time. A lot of late nights and grilling chicken at 3 a.m.
Exactly. Ain't nothing better than the Foreman grill at 3 a.m. A little bit of marinade.
I don't remember what you told me to put on that thing. You told me to put something on it. And I was like, sweet, I'll do it. And it was delicious.
Yeah. You know what I made today? I made us a yum chicken salad sandwich. So, you ever get yum sauce?
I've heard of it.
A tap and grill where they chop stuff up and they flip shrimp in your mouth and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've been to Japanese grill. Yeah.
The pink sauce that they have there.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I make that. As I like it. And then if you buy it in the stores, it tastes like crap because they put way too much stuff in it. So I went on to YouTube because that's where you go to learn everything. Right? It is. You want to learn anything, go to YouTube. Put in
even
yum sauce. Yeah, exactly. Yum sauce, and there's a great recipe. You got to have like rice wine vinegar, some kind of like sweet rice wine, a bunch of herbs and spices, a little mayonnaise, some ketchup, sugar. Whisk it up and let it sit so it gets a little frothy, and it tastes just like yum sauce from the tap and grill. So I made that sauce, and then I just took a can of chicken, threw it in there with a little bit of bell pepper and a little bit of onion, and made myself a chicken salad sandwich, but instead of with mayonnaise, with yum sauce. And it was yum. It was good. I gave it to my wife. She's like, why is it pink? I'm like, it's because it's yum sauce. And she's like, hey, that tasted pretty good. Yeah, trust me. I do all the cooking in my house.
My wife, that was some nice thunder. My wife does all the cooking in our house unless I do all the grilling. Although I did tell her if you can use an oven, you can use the smoker. Come on now, woman. She's like, you're just trying to get me to do
exactly. You're pushing that off on her. You know what? I like to cook, though. I made beefaroni. That's what I made yesterday. That was delicious.
I can't cook. I like to cook, but I can't cook. She won't let me cook anymore. And here's the reason why. When I cook on the stove, I get all anxious and anxiety. And this has got to be here. And, this has got to do this. And, Lord, this is getting done. And so I am just a miserable, grouchy wreck. And she's like, you just stay out of my kitchen.
We got a flat top grill at the warehouse. I've made breakfast burritos and all kinds of stuff on it. So this week, everybody's like, hey, we haven't had a cookout in a while. So Friday, I made cheesesteaks, peppers, onions, mushrooms, a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of herbs and spices. Cooked up all the vegetables, and then I cooked up 16 boxes of steaks. Just threw them on there, chopped them up, and mixed it all up. I made 52 cheesesteaks on Friday. So
There is a place in DC that makes Philly cheesesteaks.
yeah,
The guy's actually from Philadelphia, and the owner, he told me what his secret was to his. I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but if you go to DC and you ask for a Philly cheesesteak, that's where everybody's going to send you. The secret he uses is on the bread. Number one, he puts all the stuff inside the meat, folds the meat together. So he
yeah.
puts it in and folds the meat together. And then before he inserts it into the bread, because so that's the motion he uses, before I insert it into the bread, he takes ranch dressing and Italian dressing, mixes them together. It's 2 parts ranch and 1 part Italian dressing. Mixes together and puts it on like mayonnaise. And it was, dude, it was delicious. I'm just telling
2
you.
parts ranch, 1 part Italian.
It was out of this world.
I have thought about opening a restaurant. I love to cook. I actually would like to open just a small place and make it bean and beers because I make really good baked beans, some chili beans, just different kinds of beans.
Bean and
Then
beers. Two
bean
things
and
make you
beers.
fart.
Come in, you come in, you get like a little pot of beans and a beer, and get the hell out.
Yeah, if I ever invent the power your own car,
Yeah.
that'd be the best place to eat. Beans and beers.
Exactly.
We're gonna make ourselves hungry. We're talking about food. Take you brownie mix, rich brownie mix. Make the fudgy style brownies, not the cake style, the fudgy style. Bake them for 2/3 of the time. Let them sit till they cool, and then spread cream cheese icing on it. Oh my lord, it will put you in a diabetic coma.
Yeah, I can't eat that.
It is out of this world. Yeah, but our listeners can. Trust me on it. It is out of this world. You don't want more than a 1-inch square, though. If you do, you're awesome. If you can eat more than 1-inch square, you're awesome. I'm not that young anymore.
What's that thing you used to make with corned beef?
Oh, Lord. My wife calls it slum and vomit. But you take
That was good, though. You told me I did it one time.
Yeah, you take a can of corned beef.
Yeah.
It's a heart attack in a can, is what it is. But it's 90% sodium and 10% spam or something. Anyway, corned beef, you put it into a bowl. Take it out, put it in a bowl. Put you like 2 or 3 big, huge tablespoons of mayonnaise. And then cut up green peppers or celery. Now, I've got another friend who told me that he made it, but he didn't have either one of those, so he used green olives, and I've been wanting to try that because he said, man, it was good too. So I've been wanting to try it with green olives, but I figure it's going to be way too salty if you use green olives. But he salts and peppers everything like crazy. But still, yeah, you take the corned beef, put it in there, and it does not look appetizing, folks. I'm going to tell you that, but it is delicious. So you can go out there and try pocket change, how to make your own food because you're living off of pocket change. Anyway,
I still love oodles and noodles, right? But I don't, I cook them, I boil them, take the noodles out, then I put them back in the pot. Put 4 tabs of butter, and then the sauce pack, and then I'll usually put a little bit of something, like some other thing on top of it, and then just mix it up, throw the sauce, and just eat them like noodles. They're delicious.
That's the way
they're still like 3 for $1.
That's the way
everything else is going up.
My son says that he met a guy from, where's his friend from? I don't remember. It's like Hmong, which is a group of indigenous Asian people. But he taught my son how to make the oodles and noodles. He said, this is the way we actually do it. You dumb Americans, you use water and boil water into it. He said, no, we take it, we boil the noodles, we dump all the water out, then we put butter in it, and then we put the seasoning in, we stir it all up together.
Yeah, that's good.
And my son said it is out of this world delicious. I haven't tried it yet because I can't bring myself. I'm like, I moved past ramen a long time ago.
But tell your son to buy a bag of those onion things like that you put on top of the green bean casserole at Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Crunch a handful of them in. That's you're living good.
You talking about Funyuns?
No, not Funyuns.
What are you talking about?
The French's onions that you don't cook.
Yeah.
You ever have green bean casserole?
Yes,
Christmas,
my wife makes that nasty thing at Thanksgiving.
That is delicious. I don't care.
I don't like
Although one
green bean
year I was like,
casserole.
I'm gonna do this fancy, and I just use fresh green beans. You got to cook fresh green beans for an hour and a half for them not to be crunchy. So don't do that. Use the canned ones; they're already soft. That's my tip of the week. Use the canned green beans in your green bean casserole. We have wasted a lot of time talking about food,
Yeah,
and
but
I'm super hungry.
you know what? We could leave this in here because it's good cleaning. Our pocket pals might want some recipes because everybody loves to eat. I mean, my dad
Yes.
always said if he could open two things, he would open a combination funeral parlor and grocery store because you got to eat and you got to die. So maybe that's what we should do instead of reselling. No, I'm kidding. I don't
A
want to
grocery
pick
store that mainly concentrates on pickled things because you get,
with a
you
funeral parlor right beside of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it.
Some pickled beets. Hey, we can take time and just dump them in the vat, save you a few dollars. I don't know. It seemed funny to me. Okay, we got any final thoughts?
Final thoughts, folks. We're trying to learn right now because things have changed. They're a little bit different. Because, like I said, we've been listing and the sales aren't up. So, it might be trying time to do one, actually do a training. Ben's going to work on getting that set up so we can do the share me and do the show some other platforms
Yeah.
because it might be time to expand your palette. We're 45 episodes in. Might be time to expand it a little bit. He's been on other for a little while, so he's been trying those out. So he knows some do's and don'ts on those. So final thoughts, stay tuned for that I'm going to seriously look into that as well because yeah, eBay, nothing wrong with eBay, but I need more sales. And there's been a lot of weeks I've noticed where Ben's has had down patterns on eBay, but he still had a good week because the other platforms have been up. So maybe that's how we reach our goals. Maybe, you just say don't
Yeah.
put all your
So
eggs in one basket.
next week's regular episode will be us talking about our goals starting June 1st and our goals through the end of the year and what we're going to actually do. So we're going to have to tighten the belt, sit down and really start posting and working towards a goal. We've been playing for the first 6 months. It's time to do it. Although
Right.
I think in June, I'm probably going to go to Austin for 2 weeks, but yeah, we'll see if that happens.
You still hit your goal. I mean, you still sold on vacation.
I sold more on vacation than I did not this week, so I don't understand it.
So maybe
So
you do need to quit the job and just do this full time, but stay on vacation.
there you go. I'll just not work and do this, right? Plus,
Party.
yeah, party. Yeah, woo! I'm gonna cut this into two. I'm gonna do pocket change food and pocket change. We got a whole
An
episode,
auxiliary episode.
auxiliary episode. I will call that auxiliary. No, I won't. I'll call it 48.
We just start numbering. Let's go ahead and jump to 100. Like they used to say checks. You go to some banks, they'd let you pick your number on checks back in the day if you had a higher number.
If it was over 1,000, some people wouldn't take it. If it was under like 200 or something like that, so
Yeah.
it made a lot of sense.
So you'd be like, oh, start me out at 1,000.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Chex Mix. Though you were going to have a recipe, but I see.
Oh, I do have a recipe for that. I'll get it for next time. We'll throw it in with the mix.
All right, so we're going to start ending the episodes with recipes of the week.
Sweet. Everybody just fast forward to the end.
Yeah, I don't really care for that, but they can cook, so we're going to start doing that. It's the cooking, reselling.
We both added on a few pounds over the years, so obviously somebody in our house can cook. For me, it has to be
True.
my wife. For you, it has to
Yeah,
be you.
me. Yeah, that's the worst. When you can cook, you just eat and eat.
You got to
Next thing
try
you
your
know,
food.
yeah. Well, and you eat while you cook. Just eat.
My grandma used to say, "Can't trust a skinny cook."
Yeah, I've been trying to catch that anorexia for years, but just can't catch it.
Final thoughts. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We've been trying to catch it for years.
All right, so stay tuned. The next episode that we have, that's a full-fledged episode, not a pick or pass, will be us talking about our goals for the remainder of this year. And then you guys can hold us to them. And then if we don't do it, you can point and make fun of us, stuff like that. But you know what? Thank you guys for tuning in.
Absolutely.
It was great spending a little time with you. Hopefully you enjoyed this as much as we do. I have a great time.
Yeah, but we appreciate each and one of you listening. Even if you're new here, subscribe. This is just two friends who are trying reselling. Well, not trying, we're actually doing it now and just having fun doing it.
Yeah, and we're going to tell you when we run across something that's interesting or something we did wrong, because we do a lot wrong. We do.
And knowing
It's
is
messy.
half the battle.
Peace.
All right, peace.